Right, hi everyone. Yeah, I haven't been doing much on the way of Rusty's Rustic at the moment, but now with this COVID-19 lockdown stuff, I thought, well, what an opportunity just to try and do maybe a couple of videos while we're here, because I'm obviously having to self-isolate at home, which means any videos I do, unfortunately, I won't have my mate Steve with me, the Rustic Pantry, hey ho, we have to, get on and do things. Now, obviously it's Easter, I'm doing this fairly late on, this is Good Friday, and thinking ahead to the weekend, well, even tonight, there's a lot of I'm training to be a priest as well as doing all this, and you can actually eat, if you're a devout Christian, you can actually eat meat on Good Friday post 3 p.m, and that is because at 3 p.m. Christ died, Christ was crucified and uttered his last breath and gave himself up in spirit to God. So from 3 o'clock onwards on Good Friday you can eat red meat, but before that obviously we try and think about eating fish. Now I was thinking ahead to Easter Sunday. Now I've got some lamb that I'll be roasting for that, and we'll have a little roasting on the Sunday, which I'm really looking forward to. But there's a little something else that I managed to pick up while I was out shopping for the lamb, and I thought, well, we'll try this. And that's lamb ribs, not chops, not crown or anything like that. The your usual French trimmed lamb or anything like that. But this is just very basic lamb rib, much as you would have pork spare rib. And we're going to try and have a little bit of an experiment with that. So if you want to carry on watching, I'll get set up and we'll take it from there and see how we get on. This is the first, I've not done this before, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so these are our lamb ribs. Now there's 10 little ribs in there, and believe it or not, these were less than £2.50 from a local supermarket. They're not on offer or anything, they were just there, packaged as this, wrapped in cellophane, and there are ribs. Now first of all, what I think we need to do is give these a bit of rub, because I'm going to try and do these barbecue style, give them some barbecue flavour, and for that we need spices. So here we go, let's put those out of the way, bring in our bowl, because this is what we're going to use to marinate the lamb ribs in. So here I have garlic granules. There's not a lot left in there actually, I need to get some more. And these are things that are readily available in the supermarkets at the moment, even despite the COVID-19 stuff. So we want a good heaped teaspoon of garlic granules. Follow that with some smoked paprika. Okay, smoked paprika. Want a good heaped teaspoon of that. On top of that, I'm going to use some of this sweet paprika. Now be careful with this. I know it doesn't say the hot. If there's a hot variety, let me just show you the difference, because it's in exactly the same tin. Okay, you've got sweet and you've got hot. Hot is hot, trust me. Okay, so use that sparingly if you're going to use it. I'm going to use the sweet version, but even so, it does still pack a little bit of heat. So be very careful. I'm not going to use a full teaspoon, but half a teaspoon of that. And then it goes. Next, for a little bit of sweetness, we've got some demerara sugar. 2 heaped teaspoons of that. In fact, let's go for 3. I like sweet barbecue. Then, I want to make this into a paste rather than a dry rub. So, a little bit of maple syrup. About 2 tablespoons. Teaspoons rather, sorry. And in that goes. Let's get that out of the way. And not that you normally have it in barbecue sauces, but a little bit of soy, just to give it that saltiness over the top of all that sweet that we've got at the moment, and to give it a nice rich dark colour. Finally, salt now. In the salt I've got at the moment, I've got some Himalayan salt, and I'm going to need to grind quite a bit of this up into this. And then I haven't been able to get any tomato puree that's sold out, unfortunately. So just standard tomato ketchup. Give that a good squirt, like so. Now the next stage, where's my whisk? There we go. Little whisk to mix it all together. Get everything incorporated through that. Oh, that smells nice. Just have a quick taste of that. Yep, sweet, but I need some tang in it, so I haven't got any distilled vinegar, so it's just going to have to be a little bit of malt vinegar, just to give it that extra bit of acidity. Okay, mix it all through nicely. I mean, if you've got red wine vinegar, that would do just as good. Cider vinegar would be a nice one, I suppose, really, to be perfectly honest. Let's try that. Remember to keep tasting all the time with these. Teeny weeny bit more vinegar. Just a bit more acidity. I mean, you could really play around with these flavours as much as you want, to be perfectly honest. I mean, this is, you know, as I said, I've not done this before, it's not the exact science with these lamb ribs, so final taste on that. Oh yeah, yep, that looks tasty. Right, so these are lamb ribs, quite nice that they've got a layer of fat on, lovely. Split them all up. Oh, look at them. Oh, beautiful. Big spoon. I mean, yeah. If you're going to be brutal, get in there with your fingers. Give these a real good coating of this marinade. In fact, what the heck, yeah. Take the rings off, get in with your fingers, make a mess. It's Easter, it's food. What do you got to lose? There we go. Make sure they're all covered nicely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover them with cling film, put it in the fridge for a few hours until this evening, because I'm going to do this just as a snack, as a treat. It's Friday. Friday is always, in this household, is always treat night. So it's crisps, movies, a couple of beers, and chill out. So I'll come back to you guys in a little while, and we'll look at getting these cooked in the oven. Okay, so it's now what? Nearly 10 o'clock. Things have gone a little bit longer than I expected, because I've had to cook a shoulder of lamb for another meal we're having. So we probably won't be able to eat these tonight, but at least they'll be cooked tonight. I'll certainly try perhaps a couple. So yeah, basically what I've got here is a baking tray, full lined. Now what I want to do is try and cook these slowly and try and keep them moist for the first part of the cooking, and try and make sure that the fat is rendered out of them. So I'm going to cook them on a medium heat. I've got the medium to, well, low to medium. I've got them on gas mark about 3.5. Now these have been in the marinade in the fridge, covered with cling film. So I just want to put these in now, try and space them out a little bit if I can, just in the size of this tray. Don't think there's going to be much space in this, to be perfectly honest, but there you go. One of them things, it's like I said, it's a bit of a suck it and see kind of thing, because I've not cooked lamb ribs before, certainly not cooked them like this. Lamb and barbecue, does it go? There is only one way to find out. Squeeze it over there, so get them in. I need a spoon because I want the rest of that marinade to go in. As much as possible. Get it all over the lamb. And at this point I'm also going to put in, fingers a bit of rinse, I'm also going to put a tiny little bit of water as well, just to try and make sure that it keeps nice and moist. There we go, not a lot. And then I'm going to put in another layer of tin foil over the top. And this is where I always go wrong with tin foil, because whenever I try and tear tin foil it goes wrong. That's not too bad. And then seal it all over the edges, make a bit of a parcel like so. Crimp all the edges over the edge of the tray, so it's fairly airtight. So there'll be a nice lot of steam generated, and then hopefully that steam will keep all the flavour in there as well. And so I'm going to put this into the middle shelf of the oven. It's gas mark sort of 3.5. I'm going to look at this around about the 45-minute mark and see what it's like from there, because what I really want to do, once it's cooked through like that, I want to take all the tin foil away on the top, and then perhaps I'm going to look at doing a glaze over the top of them, a sticky sort of glaze. I'm thinking along the lines of maybe a little bit of black treacle, molasses, or some kind of syrup. Even put in some more paprika, maybe some sesame seeds, just give them that real sticky sort of, I know sesame seeds aren't strictly barbecue, but I think they just look nice when you see them all encrusted into the glaze on something like this. So we'll have a look at this in about 40-45 minutes, and I'll come back to you all, okay? Okay, so a blank work surface to start with. But what I'm going to do first of all is show you why I'm doing these ribs so late, because, well, my poor project management. But this is the shoulder of lamb that I put in earlier on. As I said, it's Easter weekend, and this is going to supply us with some cold meats just to enjoy as part of the this festive season. So that's now cooked. It's covered in rosemary, garlic, oregano, thyme, and it's been cooking for about 2 hours, as you can see from the shrinkage on the bone there. So that's out of the way now, which has allowed me to actually finally get round to my lamb ribs. Now these have been cooking for 45 minutes. You can see the shrinkage on the bones and everything there. Now they've obviously been cooked in that marinade that we had in the bowl in the fridge. The water I put in there to keep them moist was only a little bit, so this is probably, the liquid you see there is probably about 75 to 80% fat. I'm now going to drain that off, so you just bear with me for a second. Okay, so there we go. These I'm going to space out a little bit. Ooh, they are so hot. Now what I want to try and do is give them some sticky glaze. Oh, you can see them nearly falling off the, well, a couple of them actually falling off the bone. The way to get a sticky glaze on any meat is to use something with a high sugar content. Honey is a good thing. Treacle's a good thing. Unfortunately, I don't have either. So, going back to our original glaze, and this is going to might sound pretty disgusting, but I'm actually going to use a little bit of maple syrup. So first of all, we're going to put the maple syrup over the top. Now they're dry and got all that juice out of the way. This, I suppose, really, this is something that our American friends would really get to grips with, because they like maple syrup with bacon and that sort of thing. Then, going back to, if I can find it in the cupboard where it's gone, a little bit of soy sauce to go in there, over the top. And then, just as maybe a little bit of decoration, maybe a little bit of an Asian influence, sesame seeds. Quite liberally. Now, toasted sesame seeds, they have that lovely, well, obviously the toasted flavour, but they're not 100% sweet. They give it a little bit of a lift. And I'm not going to recover them with tin foil. I'm going to leave them as is. They're going to go back into the oven at the same temperature, about gas mark, what was it, 3 to 4, for about, oh no, for about 15 minutes to try it, and we'll see what they're like after that. Okay, so time for the big reveal. I've had these lamb ribs now uncovered in the oven, same gas mark, for about 20 minutes, and this is what we have. I've got to admit, they smell absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is now plate them up just on to a plate, nothing else, just as they are, and we'll see what they look like once they're out of this baking tray. So without further ado, let's have a little look. Oh, they smell amazing. Meat's just clinging to the bone. Look at that. Wow. You could have at this point put them under the grill, maybe just for a few minutes, just to toast off the sesame seeds to a golden colour, but I think that may have affected the texture of the meat. I think they may have made a bit too crusty. At this point I think they are a little bit sticky still. I've just got a couple more to put on here. Last one. There we go. Now what I am going to do, I'm just going to get a jug, because there's a lot of juice still in that pan. I don't really want to go to waste because it's quite caramelized and it smells absolutely fantastic. And all I'm going to do now is just simply pour a little bit over the top of these lamb ribs. Now if you're going to be really chefy, you could put things like some chopped herbs over the top. I don't know, maybe some coriander, parsley. Really don't think it needs it. I need to let these cool down because I'm not going to actually try and taste them right now because I think they'll be quite hot. They need to rest a little bit, they need to absorb some of that juice that I've put over the top of them. But, you know, as we are in this situation now altogether, this lockdown stuff, and we're trying to make the best of a bad situation. This is, £2.50's worth or just under of meat, with what you can find in your cupboard, some spices, a little bit messing around in the oven, but it's a little treat. It's Good Friday. The unfortunate thing is, it is now what? Oh, it's midnight. Oh dear me. Okay, so it's taking an awful lot longer than I expected to get these done, but I think within the next 10 minutes, myself and probably especially Rosie will kind of devour these before we go to bed. Yeah. So anyway, listen. Thanks for watching. It's a Rusty's Rustic Pantry. It's a little bit unusual. Steve isn't with me. Steve, I'll tag you into the videos for this. Give us a shout. Tell me what you think. I'll have a bit of a tasting in a minute while they're cooled down, and I'll provide it all back in the video. Incidentally, because it's midnight, I don't think I'm going to be able to edit the video now to go online. I'll probably do that in the morning and put it on Facebook Live and on YouTube. But in the meantime, guys, please, 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 during this, keep your distance, stay safe, look after yourselves and your family, and please, 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 make sure that you look after those around you, the people who need looking after, those who are desperate, and may God bless you all. Take care. Thank you very, very much for watching. Bye bye.